Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us for our June Global Leadership Meeting for Millennials in Travel. Thank you for being here. And if you couldn't join us today, hopefully you have a listen to this recording for all these exciting updates. I know we didn't have a chance to meet last month, so we've got some really exciting things to share and lots to review today. So let's just jump right in. For me, I just want to give you a couple updates on our events and our chapters. For events, just a reminder, we'll have a fun networking event / cocktail party reception at Virtuoso Travel Week on Monday, August 14th. The time will probably be around 4 to 7 p.m., but I'm sure it'll linger longer than that as well. That's the night when a lot of people are coming and going to a lot of different cocktail parties. So we anticipate a lot of people stopping by. We did put out a survey, a link to an expression of interest, if you will, in our newsletter last month. And we've actually gotten a good amount of replies to that. So we know a lot of people that are going to Travel Week want to join us at that event, as well as at our gala tables. If you are not part of Virtuoso and you're not attending Virtuoso Travel Week and you'd like to come to Vegas to attend our event Monday night, you're welcome to do that. Since our event is an unofficial event at the conference, any millennials that are wanting to attend can do so. So keep that date in mind.
Go ahead,
Josh.
I don't think last year, I don't remember if we specifically distributed it to those in Las Vegas in Millennials in Travel, but I mean, we did have a chapter many years ago, so I think there is a pretty large.
There might be a few people there. Yeah.
So we just need to remember to also invite those people.
Yes, definitely. Our chapter that we had there was primarily more transient, but yes, we need to do that, and we're still working on our final sponsor partnerships for that event, so we'll have more details hopefully soon. I don't know how much we'll want to widely promote that event through social media and newsletter. I mean, we'll include it in our events, but we will send a targeted invite list for that one. So I don't know that we'll really do any social media for it, right?
Yeah.
Josh? Okay.
No, I don't think it is particularly niche.
Yeah.
At the same point, the last 3 years we've been doing it, we have said to people, this is the only email you're going to get about this. And so I am a little nervous to pull from the Virtuoso database to email people, because I think twice or maybe 3 times now we've said you won't be on our database. So we'll talk about that offline.
I think if it's the wording is this is a one-time, or a one-off invitation for this event, you are not added to our database for ongoing mailings.
Okay.
Right. I mean, I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
Okay. And then that's it for global events. I did find finally an events manager. She's based in New York. I just haven't had a chance to onboard her yet. So hopefully I'll be able to get to that this month. And so she can step in and help. And really what I want her to focus on is also pop-up events in some other cities where we have a lot of interest that would, eventually kind of roll into becoming a chapter in those cities. So her name's Megan. Once she starts with us, I'll be sure to let everyone know, but she'll help us with events at conferences like this one at Travel Week, and then also pop-up events in cities where we don't have chapters, but we have strong interest. We've had a number of very successful chapter events lately in the past couple of months, and we've got a few more coming up with Charleston and New York, and Phoenix has one in the works as well. And all of the chapters, I meet with them on a regular basis, and they're all, dedicated, excited about continuing with the quarterly networking events. So I don't see those slowing down. And we know that that's what our members want most. So it's good that they're going to keep up with those. In terms of chapters, in terms of where we stand, we're launching our 10th chapter this year to celebrate our 10 years as Millennials in Travel in Houston. And I also had calls last week with people in Atlanta, DC, and San Francisco. So I think Atlanta will be next, and that one is underway. Just building out the leadership team. We already have 2 people and about 10 people that have raised their hand and said that they're interested. So I've kind of tasked that to the main person that's helping launch that chapter to kind of help fill out the leadership team. So I think we'll have Atlanta launching later this year, probably with a launch event in the fall. I'm not sure when Houston's launch event is. I know that they're still working on it, but it will definitely be this year, probably late in the summer, maybe early fall as well. But that's pretty much it on chapters. The rest of the chapters are all doing well. We've got a few vacancies on the leadership team in Miami and Vancouver, and I think 1 spot in San Diego, but that's it. So we're doing really good with the chapters and kind of have gotten into a pretty good groove. Natalie, I know you had some great feedback for social media for the chapters. I'll have a meeting with them next week, next Monday. So if anybody else has anything they'd like me to pass along to the chapter officers, the chapters, please let me know. With FAMS, Abby, do you want to give us an update on FAMS?
Oh yeah, so we've got really exciting. We've had a high number of applicants for both of the upcoming FAMs, so thrilled for that. So we have one with Belmont in St. Martin at their property La Semana, and this is going to be July 12th through 16th, and then the 2 nights there, and then we're moving over to Cap Juluca on Anguilla for another 2 nights. So it's going to be a nice little barefoot escape type FAM, which I personally love, and you know, I think it's a really nice itinerary. They're incorporating like time to experience the property, relax, do work if you need to. There'll be like a beach barbecue, snorkeling, lots of water-based activities. So that's going to be a real fun one. And I'm glad we got a lot of applicants for it. Like an overwhelming number.
We had 36 applicants for that one.
Yeah.
It was so many.
And I had a feeling. I feel like
Mhm.
everyone's been very interested in Anguilla. It's been really, I think, trending and kind of been like hidden gem of the Caribbean this year. So I'm excited to go down there as well and host that one. So that'll be great. And then I know Monica's kind of worked more on the
hold on, Abby. Josh, you have a question?
Should we be asked on the application, should we ask people where they saw this or how they learned about it? Like newsletter, social media, Instagram?
I think
like,
you can track the link.
No,
Maybe not.
We know how many people from the newsletters, we know how many people click through, but we don't know how many, like who of those applied, and that's just
we could add it if you want. I mean, yeah.
Well, is it going to help? Is it going?
I don't know that it's going to change our communications. Okay. Yeah, I mean, because we're really doing like we do 1 newsletter inclusion, 2 to 3 social media posts, and then the invitation goes out twice. And then if need be, myself and Elizabeth will often like go out to agency owners and managers and say, hey, just want to make sure, you know, your advisors have seen this opportunity. So I don't know that we would change that plan, add anything or take anything away. But up to you and the communications team if they think it would be beneficial to have that info. Yeah. No comment.
I don't feel any way about it. Particular, whatever you think's best. I think we've been, you know, really trying to do a good social post around these FAMs with at least, you know, we have the launch post and then doing stories every week. So I would hope that that's helping and that's where people are seeing them. I don't know that it would.
I know they are, because I know like with the Atero FAM, like I didn't send the invite for like 3 days. So like it was only on social media.
That's good to know. Okay.
It was like mentioned in the newsletter and then it was on social media and we got, I want to say like 10 or so applicants. Awesome. And then the invite went out. So, and then we got a whole like new rush of applicants. So I think it works to have, I think it just continuing like all of the channels helps because it hits people one way or another.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah. Okay, Abby, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, and I think a lot of like agencies see it too, and then they kind of will pass that along even to all their advisors. So I think the news kind of spreads pretty quickly.
Yeah, and like case in point, Leslie with who's like in charge of like, well, I don't know, director of leisure or something at Fora, which is in New York. She emailed me and said, I'm having some of my advisors apply to this, but like no one ever sent it directly to her because she's not in our database. So somehow she saw it, or one of her advisors told her, and she said, I'm having my advisors apply to this and I wanted to like provide a letter of reference for them. So we didn't even ask people for some referrals, and people were like emailing us to like, I want to like provide like a reference for this person or that person applying for your FAM, which is pretty cool.
That's
Much
great.
credit due to Belmont, of course. So thanks,
Yes,
Elizabeth,
Belmont
to
was
your
on
team.
it. They were on it.
Yeah, sometimes it's just like it works like magic, and then sometimes our
Yeah.
FAMs are a struggle, and sometimes you never know why. It's like a combination of the dates, the properties, the when we release it, what people's schedules are like. So I was always kind of opposed to doing things during the summer, but some of the feedback I've heard is that people want things during the summer because they're not doing other conferences. So
I
I
kind
don't
of
know.
agree. I think the summer, I don't know, personally for me, I am slammed in the spring and fall. So
Yeah,
the summer is
same.
kind of when
Yeah.
I hit a little bit of a lull. So
Right.
that's when I would actually be more willing to travel, is more
Yes. And
summer personally.
I keep trying to find like the black and white
Yeah.
solution, the answer,
Hard.
but it's just who knows. But anyways, Abby, sorry, go ahead.
Oh
continue with
yeah.
all the
So,
updates.
and then we've got Ontario, which I'm so excited about. I know Monica, you've done the bulk of the work for that to get it out, but that's July 28th through the 31st. And I was just there. I went to Tea-Fest in May, and I actually ended up staying an extra night at the end at Ontario because I've heard people just raving about it. And so that is going to be a very, very nice FAM. I mean, it's super high end, very exclusive feel. There's a lot of cultural experiences there. They have you have your own little personal host that checks you in your room and everything. So exceptional service, exceptional food. I mean, it was like, I did not want to leave. I was so sad I only stayed there at night. So I know that's going to be a great FAM that everyone's going to enjoy.
Yes, very excited for that one from our friends at Auberge. And we've had a couple others in the works too that are just still pending. I just recently was kind of following up with everyone to check the pulse, see if they're still interested. And we do have Muse Collection, Vivian Chambers and the Muse Collection that are interested in doing either Italy and the Dolomites or Spain. And then James Lila, who's one of our officers in Chicago, is currently in Greece and kind of helping with putting together a potential Greece FAM with some of his contacts there. So we are open to more FAM opportunities. We'll just, can take them on as we have the time, but if you have any others, please send them our way. Elizabeth, yes, do you have a question?
I think we were talking to a few other Belmonts. Did those fall through? Did we not get through?
Yeah, I just copied you on an
second?
email to the is it Eduardo, the guy at
Yep.
San Miguel. Yeah,
Okay.
I followed up with him multiple times and we just never hear back.
Yep.
And then
Okay. I'm on that. I'm on that
yeah,
one
no problem. Because I think
they-
that one would be so great. Like San
they
Miguel is
absolutely
amazing.
they need the help. So I don't understand the delay. So let me work on that. Okay.
No problem. And then I think one of the other ones was it Reed's Palace in Madeira?
Yeah.
Which I think we could do, but I feel like we need to combine it with something.
Yeah,
Is
I
my
think we
only
need
hesitation.
Lisbon or something maybe on the coast, Porto,
Exactly.
something.
Ooh,
I agree.
weren't there direct New York Madeira flights
Yes.
that launched?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, we
Yep.
could do it as a standalone if it's like,
York.
3-4 nights.
Yeah,
I think.
but
We could.
I also agree that if you did Portugal, right, as a destination, you're here and then you're seeing the islands, that would be amazing.
Yeah. What
But
I mean, we've got 3 advisors on this meeting. Like what from an advisor standpoint? Oh, sorry, Josh, 4 advisors. I forget your advisors sometimes. I don't know, like Caroline, Amanda, do you have any thoughts on that? Like a Madeira FAM?
I think so. The people I've known who've done Madeira as FAMs, they've usually done Portugal and then on the way back stopped at Madeira. That was kind of the move, because then it's true where it's you're already kind of going over there. You might as well stop in Portugal, and it's such a small country where it's not hard to see most of it in a few days,
Mm-hmm.
But I work with a DMC there called Tempo VIP. I can ask them.
Yeah, their TL portfolio. Yeah, Daniello might be interested in doing something. I feel like I had talked to him about it before, very briefly, a long time ago. I think right when Tempo became TL.
Yeah.
So that could be something to think about too. And we can ask Natalia maybe.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I think you need to add Portugal with it. That's what I would want to do.
And you might as well. I mean, how expensive flights are over to Europe. It's almost like if you add a little bit more, you might get more buzz for it than it being a shorter stay.
right?
So that
I
could be
think,
done.
and I am basing that off of, I actually did like put a survey out to find out like what some of the hurdles for people were. And I think like, yeah, there has to be like some oomph, some meat to the fam to make it like desirable to get the people that we want. As well as like, advance notice. One of the other things that was like a requirement now for our fams is scheduling in time in the itinerary every day for work, because that was another hurdle, and like not over scheduling the fams. So
I think the ones that we always had to cancel, other than Sri Lanka, it really were like short duration stays, right? Like one property. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, yes and no, because like these Belmont and the Atero,
Unless they're great, unless they're amazing properties.
Unless they're amazing properties, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So, which the Madeira one I'm sure is, but I think because it is so much further, like for some people to pop down to Mexico or the Caribbean for 3 or 4 nights is one thing versus going
Yeah,
over to Europe.
it's an island in the middle of the Atlantic. Like it's
Right.
it's a legit like commitment. Like
Yeah.
we get it.
You can't complain.
Yeah, like I get it, but
Yeah,
yes,
so I'm not opposed to us doing that one, but yeah, I think if anybody has some ideas or wants to make introductions on like, even if it's just 3 nights at the Madeira property and like 4 nights in Portugal, like people can still build their pre and post beyond that.
Yeah.
But to have like that 1 week, I think if it's an international fam, is like a good amount of time. Okay. And I just checked, I was just counting. We have 21 applicants so far for the Atero. I'm pronouncing that wrong, aren't I? The Auberge Atero fam, but it's we have 21 applicants so far, and the deadline to apply is Wednesday. So we'll get a few more.
I'm gonna do one
sure.
more post tomorrow, Monica, too,
Okay.
on stories. I was just waiting
Great.
so I could do like a last day to apply type thing.
Great, thank you. And they're willing to take up to 10 on that one, so that'll be nice.
Okay, great.
Yeah, and I think Kelly, who is our digital content manager, she couldn't be on the call today, but I think she has raised her hand to host. So unless anyone else on the team is interested, we have a host already. Cool. Anything else on fans? Abby, anything else? Abby's done so much great work lately. We're so grateful.
No,
thank you, Abby.
Thank you. I think it's just a matter of just like, I think following up with some that have maybe fell to the wayside a little bit. And a lot of times it's just, we like follow up with them and then we just don't get a response. And,
right. Yeah. And you'll see, I just went through and did all of that. You'll
I
see
saw
all
you sent a few emails.
The flood of emails last Friday. Yeah. And then
circle
I
back
updated Asana to like make the ones inactive.
Okay, great.
All right. Okay, so we'll move along. Thanks so much, Abby. Operation Star also couldn't join us today. I know she has actually been working on setting up, now that we've done this migration over to Microsoft and like the way our email is hosted, et cetera, 365, whatever it's called, we can have a shared calendar now through Microsoft. So she's working on getting that set up. And that I think, Josh, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that can replace the events and communications calendar that we have in Asana, so that we can have like, we'll obviously still have our calendar on our website, but for internal reference, we'll be able to use that shared calendar to show all MIT events, fams, when communications are going out. And by communications, I mean anything being sent by email. And then we can also put like, I wouldn't put every date that we're traveling on there, but like dates where you're just not available for millennials in travel, basically. So like if you're going to be on a proper vacation, or, because I know some of us are like working from all different places all the time, which doesn't mean you're not available. It just means you're not at home, right? So we'll be able to use that calendar to kind of put your like basically blackout dates, I'm not available as well. So hopefully we'll have that soon. Membership, Kate couldn't be with us tonight either. She's like living in Spain right now, which is amazing. But she did send over the latest updates on our database. We have 3,429 total contacts. Josh, did we also already do like the purge and like take a bunch of names out? No, not yet. Okay.
No.
So that was an increase of 44 new contacts.
We got stopped because Google shut down our phone number.
That's right. We had that issue. Yeah. So do we need to do anything about that, or are we?
I need to touch base with Kate to figure out like how far did she get through, who all did she contact,
Okay.
And then yeah, I mean we were gonna do it June 1st. I mean we could try to figure it out to do it July 1st if her and I can touch base. I mean, it'll drop significantly. It's not hurting us that they're on the database
I know. Yeah,
right
no,
now.
totally.
It's just,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so again, we'll still like see that number probably drop, but it just means we're cleaning it up. But that's
Yeah.
good. We're still getting, new contacts added each month, which is good. However they're finding us. And benefits. So I also found an exclusive benefits manager. Her name is Sandra. She will start with us this month as well. And we've got a number of, no, leave it. I don't want it to go yet. Thanks. We've got a number of benefits confirmed and in the works. So I'll work on them as we have time. And then we've got this exclusive benefits manager starting as well. All right, that's enough for me, I think. Amanda, over to you on jobs and professional development update.
So I'm just getting everything cleaned up and nicely. I know I sent something to Natalie and it wasn't up on the website yet, but I want to, once it's up on the website, to be able to have you share it on social media when you need content or when it's first posted, just as another way to showcase it. So as I know that it's posted on the site, then I'll be tagging you. If you have, need some content to put up, especially when it's fresh, I feel like that's a good time to put it, because as I've told with Monica, we don't know how long the job's gonna be open once, it's sent over to us. So I think that would be good, just for something else on social.
Yeah, whenever you need it posted, I know I did a generic post like on the grid, and I'm reading your comment now, Monica, about linking back to the generic job board. Yes, absolutely. I can do that for any of the in-feed posts, but I can even, like, if you need something pushed, Amanda, and you just put it in and say, hey, can we promote this job? What I'll probably do is I'll make it its own story and just put it up on stories and then link directly to that job, like application. So it can be like very timely. It's up there. People can go right to the link, things like that. So if you ever need something pushed, I think that's the best way, honestly. I'm always happy to, do it, tie it back to that main board, like if I'm doing a generic post. But if you want a job that you want applications to like quickly, I'll probably just link right to the actual job post link in a story.
Do we see stats for when people click through from stories?
Yes.
Okay, because if we're pushing directly to, I would say 75% of the time we don't host that, so we wouldn't know the amount of traffic unless.
Right. We wouldn't see traffic necessarily, but I could see every time someone clicked on the link in the story at least.
Yeah. And I think that's like, as we try to become more strategic and like we used to have, like the job board used to be monetized and we used to get revenue. We got rid of that for a while. I'd love to, like, in the future get that back, and we'll need those statistics at that point. I'm just not saying for now, but I'm just like trying to think long term.
Yeah.
And just like, I think overall, so Amanda and I spent some time on Friday just like reviewing kind of like the timeline and the procedure. So just so like and this is especially for you, Natalie, but like, so everyone knows, like, a job comes in, Amanda will make sure we have all the information, put it into Asana, tag it to our IT tech person to put on the website. Once that's done, from that date forward, we want to keep it on the website for 30 days. So at that point, Natalie, once it's live on the website, and this one that we just sent you for Africa was like not done properly, right? So going forward, like, it will already be on the website. And then Amanda will tag you in to do social media promotion of that job. Really, it's up to you. Like, if you're like, I have way too much content this week, I can't promote it, then it can get promoted.
No, we can always get them up on stories. I don't think we ever have too much going on.
Okay.
You can't get something up on an Instagram story. We're all stories are like the more the merrier.
Okay. So I told Amanda to do what I had been doing for events, which is like, I'm tagging it to you with the date of the day that I'm assigning it to.
Yeah, that works out well. Then I don't miss it.
It'll be like due date June 5th. With the content or with the links that you need. So Amanda, make sure that you include the link to the specific job or, to anything that you want Natalie to reference in the social. Amanda will assign the due date of today, like the day she's actually assigning it to you, and then you'll take it from there. But then the idea, of course, is that we promote it on social media, like kind of within a week of whatever date it's assigned to you, because that's when we know it's live, right? And sometimes these, not lately, but jobs can go quickly. It doesn't seem like that's happening for people lately, unfortunately, but
no, that's great.
And then after 30 days, Amanda will tag IT again, Josh, technology, to remove it from the website. So that's just like the overall kind of process. And we just did a massive purge, and we've got a bunch coming off the website, and I'm going out. I've got 2 more new ones already, Amanda, to send your way.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, so it's just out there for content. You need to put it on there, but I know a lot of
That's
people
great.
get
Thank you.
social media, so if they might not go to the website, look at the job board. So this just is a reminder, but I saw your post that you had put about with the job board, and I like that too. So just
Yeah.
kind of
And I
put it
have,
in.
I don't know if you've clicked into like the link in bio lately, but I try and keep that really current at all
Mhm.
times. Like there's a few landing links where it's like join MIT, read our newsletter. And there's also a link that says job board / career opportunities. So I keep
Mhm.
that in there always. I just try and keep it very like current, those links in there. So at least if people are just landing on our LinkedIn profile, at least they see that, even if it's not from a post. So just know that, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Car in the back. Just know that that is there so that
Okay.
hopefully people always have an opportunity to land on it.
Perfect.
Cool.
Thanks.
Thank you. Anything else, Amanda? That's it for now?
No.
Okay, cool. Over to communications. I know Kelly couldn't join us tonight, but she will start to provide us with some stats here on some of our recent campaigns. So it looks like I told her to just start to provide like some high level kind of some insights, some exciting things. So it looks like for our main newsletter, it's a nice open rate and the number of people reached, how many countries our
That's
newsletter
actually
reached.
that's the thing though with that is 1540 people reach. That's out of our database, and we know a good 1500 are completely inactive. So the once we clean up the database, I mean, our open rate's probably going to come up
really
to
high.
80%.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. I would
Yeah.
like to see like, I mean, she said, yeah, the Virtuoso surveys generate the most clicks. I think maybe a little like that built out a little bit more just so we can see like what, especially as we're adding like sustainable travel and everything, like,
Mhm.
you know, kind of a ranking of like the top 5 clicks or something like that.
Okay. Well, Kelly, I'm sure we'll listen to this recording, so you can say right now what you'd like to see, and then she'll
The top 5 clicks.
top 5 clicks. Got that, Kelly? All right, top 5 clicks. Yeah, no, so I thought that was helpful. And then, you know, other successful campaigns, she highlighted one of our recent invitation invites. So that was great. And she's continuing with the monthly newsletter as long for the summer months. We're going to kind of you know, play it by ear and see like if we have enough content, because sometimes in the past we've done like just like a summer newsletter, but we did our main newsletter much later this month, mostly on me because I was traveling for most of May, but we got it out. I think it was on May 31st, 30th that it went out. So it did go out in May, and then the June one, we'll probably do one for June and July, and then one in August, and we'll continue with the monthly cadence as long as we have content. So yeah, she's doing a great job with the newsletters. I'm super happy about that. All right, social media, over to Natalie.
Yeah, so I included April and May stats here since we didn't meet last month. I won't go through all of these, but really great numbers. We're pretty much up on all accounts, you know, percentage wise with interactions and impressions. I mean, we nearly doubled impressions the last few months, so that was awesome. We hit our goal for followers, which was 3,000 for the year. Super
Congrats,
excited.
that's exciting.
Yeah, so we're happy about that. I just put a new goal in there, 3,500, to see if we can get that. I think it's always, you know, important to want to grow and not kind of be complacent with 3,000. Obviously exciting, but you know, the more the better. So I put 3,500 in there. But yeah, I mean, across the board, post activity, I just put some stats in there for profile visits. We're up, link tap. So that's that link tap, Josh. So you can see, so we had almost 300 external link taps the last few months. So that would be link in profile, links in Instagram stories, etc. So all great there in terms of stats. My only note for social, and Monica, I know I texted you, we talked about this, but really just pushing the officers with all of the chapters to participate, and us as well, to participate in takeovers. Obviously, I have a ton of content to be sharing, but I think the takeovers are what make the page really fun. I know you guys probably saw the member spotlight from Betty, or for Betty this month, which was really exciting. And I think it just makes it really personal when we can do more of those types of things, which of course would love to highlight members, but I do think it's, you know, I follow a lot of you and a lot of our chapter officers on Instagram, and everyone's just
Mhm.
always traveling to amazing places. And I think if we
Mhm.
can just relay to them that it doesn't need to be the most perfect thing, right? Like everyone's already such an amazing job on their Instagram stories. If they could just post, you know, similar things to, you
Yeah.
know, millennials and travel and do a mini takeover, I think it would be amazing. But I think that's the fun part, is that we allow, you know, our officers and members and directors to do that. So
Yeah.
just encouraging more takeovers.
Do
I'm gonna
mem-
push them on it. That it's, you know, I've told them it's part of like their, you know, their communication strategy and obligation to like do one takeover a month, which if we have 10 chapters, that should be, you know, 10 takeovers. So I'll push a little bit.
Yeah.
Are we offering that to members for members?
No.
to
The
take
spotlight?
over?
Spotlight,
to
yes.
members.
Takeovers, no. Right now, takeovers is just for anyone on the MIT team, officers.
Do we want to allow people to, if that's where we're struggling, what if we were to like have people apply to take over or something where like it's curated on our side where we can say, okay, they have great content, they've applied or whatever, look at the list, they have great content, they do a great job, and like we could beta test it too.
Yeah,
don't
we
know.
could. I mean, for that, honestly, because we're already giving out the password so much to officers and leaders and managers, I would have them send the takeover and I would post it on stories. If I'm being honest, I think that's the
Okay.
best way to go about that. I'm happy to
Mhm.
trial it if you have any members in mind, even just off the top of your head that like, oh, they post really great things. Let's try it. Yeah, that's fine. But you know,
how do brands do it when they have like other celebrities take over? Like they're sending it.
yeah. And so in the past,
Yeah, it's all curated in advance.
Yeah. So we're never like, I mean, I can't speak on behalf of Montage and Pendry because we don't do anything like that. But in the past, like at the Beverly Hills Hotel, when we would do a quote unquote takeover per se, like let's say an influencer is doing a takeover, they send everything we're posting on stories. We would never give our login out. So
okay. And then my other question, do we have any analytics or know the rationale or reason behind why our impressions have grown so much? Like, are we able to figure out why our impressions have grown? And then
I honestly just think it's the type of content we're posting and the frequency that we're posting. If I'm being honest, I could dive in and look deeper, but
I mean,
I think it's the FAMs. I think it's the highlighting the officers we're doing. Of course, we have so many networking events every month. I honestly just think it's like the influx of things happening with MIT, and it's just like getting really buzzy. And, you know, we've seen so many followers. I know you were having your assistant, Josh, like follow members back. I think that really helps getting people more involved. And I just think the more we're posting and the more like people are engaging, we're appearing first on more people's feeds. So I think that's really helping.
If you can think of some way for, like, again, something that Nazan can do that is proactive on behalf of millennials and travel, like, is that if we search like a certain number of accounts and we proactively follow other, like maybe I know this is crazy, but like maybe we go in and we export we have a list of all of the suppliers of Virtuoso, for instance, and we have him go in and Millennials and Travel would follow all of the Virtuoso suppliers.
Definitely. I try and make it a point, at least, even when we're doing basically any FAM we participate in, any event at any like hotel, I'm making sure we're following them. So that's one step I'm taking, is just making sure we're following anyone that we're doing anything with.
Of course,
MIT. But yeah, that would be helpful. I mean, if there's more that, you know, I only know what I see. And, you know, if I see things that are like related to MIT, I'll follow them. Or if there's hotel brands, like I've tried to go in, you know, to some of the luxury hotel brands, follow them. I try and be proactive in that sense. But yeah, I think that would be a great project.
Should we follow brands or people?
I mean, I think it could be both. I think if you're doing brands, you know, for hotels or whatever that may be, it would be a hotel, right?
That's easy. How do we find people to follow?
Members or just random?
Well, I mean, we've already followed members who have given us their Insta handles.
Yeah.
How would we, in order to follow other people? I don't even know how to curate that list.
I don't know. I can
brands. We can export a list from Virtuoso and US2A and things like that. So I'm not worried about that. But I guess people, or maybe there's some accounts that you can advise that like we just go in and follow whoever they're following, like something like that. I don't know. I mean,
Okay, I'll think on it.
okay.
I want to tie in like social with the philanthropy and sustainability because this is so exciting. But quickly, Natalie, do you have any other updates about anything else?
Oh yeah, no,
social
no,
related or media?
nothing for social. That was pretty much
Okay.
it on the media side.
And I know you're working on
travel-
like finding a
Yeah.
platform that might work for us
Yes.
to
Yes, I am. Yep.
to like streamline posting. We don't want to make this a full-time job for you by any means. So if there's a platform out there that we can use,
Yes.
like I said, we can, we can invest some time and some money into something. So
Yeah, I'm going to do another round just because, to be honest, any platform I've ever used or what I am using at my job is very expensive. So I need to do another look out there and see what would be user friendly. I know we've talked about Zoho not really being user friendly with like scheduling, but all is good. I'll get that over to you. On the media side, responsible travel press release, going to talk to Josh and Caroline quickly after this call.
Cool.
And then hopefully get out an MIT 10-year Annie and like coinciding with the 10th chapter. I think that'll be really
so we need a date from Houston for that.
Yeah.
Probably.
So once we have that, we can do a release around that. But I think it'll be, it's nice, it's catchy.
I hope I have an update from them next week.
Yeah, just keep me posted. That's all.
Okay.
So do you think like just like looking at the rest of the year, if we did something in say so July responsible travel, I'm gonna guess maybe like September-ish, we're doing like we'll know Houston 10th anniversary launch. Is there something we can already start focusing on the holidays as to where like we have some cohesive strategy amongst multiple chapters for the holiday of giving back that would then warrant also a press release as to where we then have like basically like 3 press releases for the rest of the year and like hitting different, I guess.
Yeah, if there's a larger initiative we want to, I mean, we can talk about that. Know that the holidays will be here before we know it, but I'm happy to brainstorm, especially with Kelly, since she's really on the media forefront these days. Obviously, I'm still doing that like in my day-to-day, but she is the writer getting this news. So I'm going to lean to her, kind of, she's very helpful when it comes to this and like, what's, really what's buzzy, like what would land well with the media and things like that. So let me get with her and we can brainstorm some thoughts and maybe we can get back to you and just like some ideas of what we think we could do around the holidays. Maybe it's like you said, like chapters giving back, like what does that look like? What are we doing? Who are we, are we working with an organization? Are we like a nonprofit, like something like that we could kind of get out there that we're saying like MIT's behind and we're doing this giving back during the
that might tie in. Caroline might have some feedback on that particular subject, but then like anything we do decide on, like then we can, apply some pressure to the chapters to say, hey, we're doing this press release, so you actually have to do something to get back. Charleston's always been really good about that and doing like food boxes every holiday season. But I'm sure, maybe there's a greater cause for like the organization as a whole that we can focus on, which shifts us over to Caroline to go ahead and present.
So happy World Environment Day, everyone. Today is finally the day we launched our responsible travel page. Yay.
I know, and it looks so great.
A very long time coming, but you know what? It's here and I'm so excited that it is. And I think it goes really well, the holiday as well. So we launched the page, it's now live. Josh put it on our little like headers. And then Natalie was great with our graphic. I tried to create a social media graphic and it was terrible, so she redid the whole thing, so thank you, Natalie. And so so we launched, I posted in our stories like an intro to sustainable travel, just so like people can kind of know what it is, just kind of like a little bit of background. And then we did our first sustainable shout out today, which is Singita. And so what I did is I went through the Instagram story takeover like sign up sheet, and so I slotted all of the like shout outs, and I just numbered them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because I didn't know like what exactly it's going to be. So we have 10 so far, so right now we're like slotted through March if we do one a month, which is really exciting because it also gives us a lot of lead time to kind of like gather more. And then there were some I could probably chat with like Natalie and Kelly about this, like the holiday time. Like I know Josh was thinking like doing it like between the 5th and 10th of every month so that it kind of goes with our newsletter, because that's another thing I need to talk with Kelly about, is like kind of coordinating the newsletter like format and content in there as well. So yeah, just like needed to double check like the holiday weekends, like long weekends, like different things like that. To try to figure out like the best time. But I just went through like the calendar, just kind of slotted like whatever was around that time, like beginning of the week that wasn't a weekend. But then yeah, there are just a couple of questions I have in there. So there's that. I mentioned Kelly, and then so the templates for the Instagram stories and blog, like I'm just gonna kind of keep them the same. I think if it's once a month, it's not gonna look like super repetitive. And then if we need to change it up, we can, but like it's just easier for me because I have all the like collateral and the content, so I'm just like copying and pasting, like plug and chug. And then if we need to like move it around, I figured that'd be easier than like starting from scratch each time. So
No,
Are we
they look
keeping
great.
these?
They
Oh,
look
yeah,
It's so good.
I love
Are
it.
we
Make sure
keeping these
everybody
as-
goes to Instagram and Facebook and sees the stories.
Are we keeping these as like again, apologize, I don't know social media that well. Do they stay as
I know
like
what
a
you're gonna
block?
ask. Yes, we created an icon. So if you go on
Okay.
Instagram, there's an icon that says
There's already one.
sustainability.
Yeah.
So all of the
Cool.
stories will live in the sustainability icon, and Caroline will add to those. Yes.
yeah, so
Okay,
Natalie,
so that is one thing that we do need to figure out rhetoric of, is it sustainability? Is it responsible travel? Where and when we
Right.
don't use certain terminology.
Yeah. So let me know what you want to use. I texted Caroline earlier. So because the highlight icon, like the characters, they don't allow you. I had it as responsible travel and that was too long. So I just quickly put in sustainability just to have a placeholder. But if there's another word you want me to replace it with, I'm happy to do that. It was just responsible travel. Was too-
Yeah. I mean, is it weird to I mean, we might have to just stick with sustainability, and the only other option would be like responsibility, but then it's like it's kind of weird, like.
yeah.
Or do people shorten it like responsible and then like TRVL?
We
Like, is that a
could.
thing?
We
Does that,
could.
does that fit?
I can try.
I mean,
let's-
what do you guys say? Like, I would think that responsible and then like TRVL, if that fits, like, let's go with that.
Yeah,
I think it fits, but
Let me see. One sec.
I think
Yeah.
that makes sense. And we go through this at Aqua all the time too, because we're like sustainability, but it's, oh no, it's community support. Oh no, it's wildlife conservation. So it's like
Right.
responsible travel as a whole. So
yeah.
Yeah. But we
I think
can,
the website looks good. The Instagram looks good. Everything looks so great. I was able to on Facebook share also on my own story.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
And I thought maybe Natalie had done the settings that way, but no, I think like anyone can do it. And I only shared through because the animated ones, it won't like it didn't like carry over properly. So I only shared it's like the first few that then end with
Okay.
like the link to our website. But
Yeah, but that's good to know because then maybe I'll
Yeah.
like cut the animations for next time.
No, but I mean, I still think it's good, like to do both. And then I was able to share basically from where it says the first one, Happy World Environment Day, up until, and it goes through what it means. And then the last one is like, head over to our website to learn more. So it's cohesive and it makes sense. Like
Okay.
it just didn't include the sustainable shout out specifically
Yeah.
for Sangita, but
Yeah.
that's okay. Cause like, it's still, so everyone can do that if they want, which is cool.
It's good to know. I didn't know
You can see it on my story, but sorry, there's some personal stuff on my story still right now, but you can see it after that.
No, so yeah, so we're slotted for that. I think once I need to chat with Kelly and Natalie maybe about like the newsletter, like blog content, like the just kind of like tying up those loose ends and like really like tightening the screws on that. And then we're like solid to go through like March, which is amazing.
So what's our okay, I'm looking at the website now too. There's like goals on here. So and then we've got the sustainable shout. Okay, all right. No, I guess I don't have a question. That's good.
Yeah,
I think it's actually, I think what we might be able to do actually, because that is its own header and parent page, is that we can actually, if we wanted to, have like secondary pages for like what is sustainable or responsible travel, and then like sustainable shout outs is like a secondary page. I don't really want to get into like each company having their own page because that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
But I think we can all, at some point even break out that page, because I don't usually like having parent header as its only page. Like I usually like to, have there's more of a drop down, but
Yeah,
and I think you have to scroll pretty far down to find the sustainable shout outs.
Right.
So
So
I think we can make that its own page.
yeah, I think when we chatted originally about it, we were gonna put everything on one page just to start with. So because we didn't have enough content
Yeah.
for like to make all the different pages, but the goal is to eventually like build it out as we kind of like generate more content or like chapters to events or different things like that. And then we can kind of really beef it up.
Cool.
I
I mean,
agree.
even the two, like Pack for a Purpose and One Tree Planted, like we could eventually make them their own pages and
Yeah.
like have more content about like how we've supported it, what people can do, things like that.
Right, exactly.
Well, and we should try to then
Cool.
focus, I guess, on those two initiatives if we're gonna, at the end of the year, I don't know, at the end of the year, do like something to give or a press release about giving back. Like, should it be focused on those two initiatives? Should we get the chapters try to like get more involved with those two initiatives, like getting their,
I think
members in each city to do the
yeah,
Pack for a
let's
Purpose?
see how it like plays out the next couple months.
Okay.
I'm sure we're going to get a lot of feedback. I'm hoping we're going to get a lot of feedback. I think we'll also get a lot of inquiries of companies that are raising their hands, letting us know that they're working on sustainable initiatives. So it'll be a lot easier even for content and that's why I kind of wanted to say like let's hold off till like July when we have like a couple examples and then like it's just more content because like if we did a press release today, it's like this there's just like not enough.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I love it. I'm so excited for this. Thank you so much, Caroline.
No, thank you guys for your patience. I know, as I said, like I know it's been like a long time coming and it's like it was a lot of work and time, but it's like it's happening now. Like everything, like it's like we said, like I talked to Josh about this. Like it's nice to kind of have like, like money in the bank a little bit because it's like, okay, now we can like finesse it and then we're like good for a certain amount of time. So
definitely. And so you've got sustainable shout outs, one per month for the next 6 months or including the one today.
Yeah.
So I can also ask
months.
the chat 10 months. You already have them for 10 months. Oh, great. Okay. Nice. Okay. So we don't need to like press the chapter officers for that. Okay. For any like recommendations. I'm sure that companies will start, like Josh said, raising their hands.
Totally.
So.
And like because it did take a while to like collate all of it. So it'll also like give us enough time to kind of like, reach out and then get like the responses and stuff like that. So
I mean we can always like on specific days like Earth Day or like there's probably 5 or 6 days throughout the year that it's some random day that we can then like do another one. Like we're not committed to just I didn't want to overcommit and underdeliver. So I think once a month, but we can always do more if we have content.
Yeah. Like we always say, like less is more, consistency is key, right? So like just consistency is not less is more, but like consistency mainly. Exactly. And like, cool. I love it. Thank you so much. I did provide another link in the chat too. Elizabeth, I know you're asking like, so just to like give you guys the clarification. So there's our internal calendar that Natalie posted the link to that's like our social media takeover. So somebody's like, I'm going to sign up for this day and I'm taking over MIT's Instagram account. That's the day. But then we also have the social spotlight, which is what we just featured a member named Betty recently. And there's a link for that. So that's any member. So like Elizabeth, Abby, anyone that has like, if you're like, there's this great member in my city that should be featured, you can have them fill that out. You want to like pre-qualify them a little bit, like make sure they're a member and make sure like that they're someone we want featured on our social media. Obviously, like don't just blast this link out to everyone but you can send that link and then they can fill that out to be featured on our social media. All right, anything else about philanthropy, sustainability, responsible travel? Okay, so Josh and Elizabeth, over to you. Or
I'm not frozen. Well, Elizabeth was next on the.
Oh yeah, Elizabeth. Sorry, I don't know if we lost her.
I'm getting to a kid-free zone, so sorry.
Okay, no worries.
No
problem.
I just wanted to go back to the beginning, which is the events, and I know that Phoenix has one coming up that's going to be prior to an Amex event that's coming to Phoenix. And so just so that I don't know if you have the travel showcase schedules or not, Monica, but there'll be one in Atlanta There'll be one in Miami, Jacksonville, and Orlando.
Okay, I
Um,
don't have those. I'm not, Aqua is an Amex preferred, so I don't know
Okay.
anything about Amex at all. So if you could share that information, that'd
Yeah.
be great. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it's just a handful of cities. But it would be interesting to maybe do something surrounding it. The
Yeah.
events are at night.
Mhm.
So it may be interesting to do something at the location that they're at, because it's going to be at a hotel,
Mhm.
and do an early happy hour, because I think
Okay.
that like the events start at like 5:30.
Okay.
So if we did like a 3:30 to 5, something like that, right, would be something of interest. Anyway, I'll send you the dates
Okay.
so that you have them.
Okay, thanks.
Just because I know people are going to be coming in for those, to go to them, and just
Yeah, good to know.
and then I will take a look at the takeover. And I think we talked about this before. Like, I can use past trips to highlight as well.
Absolutely.
So
Yes.
yeah, okay, great. Yeah, so I have some stuff that, because as Monica said, like spring was absolute insane travel. So I just will filter some stuff through. So I'll put some dates up there.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What is our goal as far as like the amount? Like, I probably should and can do some things.
I don't think there's a number. I think honestly, it was just coming from a place of like observing how much like our leaders, directors, and officers are posting on their like travel accounts already, like such amazing content. It can absolutely transfer like right over to millennials and travel, you know, like they're already putting in the work and doing these awesome stories. Like if it makes sense, like you did a little trip recap, like slot in a takeover day, you know. I think that's where it was more. It's not really that I have a number in mind. I think I just see all this stuff and I get so excited and inspired. I'm like, if they're already doing it, you know,
Yeah.
yourself up for a takeover date and repurpose. People don't know if the trip was last month or last year, you know.
Sure. Yeah.
Take a date out. But that was my thought process there.
Okay.
Oh, I wonder if we maybe beta test like a millennials influencer, like that's the subset maybe we use as like a member spotlight takeover or something. Like it comes to, for example, like Anna, and I'm gonna butcher, I think it's Gilbert.
Yes,
Yeah.
I follow her.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with everything she posts.
Right, like obsessed, right? But she's like a super member for us, right? And like I think she's a chapter officer now, right?
She runs the
Nashville.
Nashville. Yeah, she runs the
Yeah.
Nashville
Okay.
chapter.
Yeah,
she's
but
awesome.
like that would be one, because I mean she's
Oh,
done
100%.
panels
Yeah.
with us, like, you know, so there may be some opportunity, and again gives them more exposure. Like she's not a massive travel influencer, she's definitely micro, but if she, you know, if she's wanting to continue to grow, this is another platform. So I think there's others that are like that in our organization that maybe what, you know, if we pinpoint a handful that we want to go to and say like, okay, we'd love for you to take over, you know, and present some content, I'm sure they would be willing to do it, right?
Yeah, no, that's a great idea. I think there are, like, I noticed so many, and maybe it is just like taking note of who these people are and reaching out saying, hey, I saw you post such great content at XYZ. Like, do you want to take over? You know, you sign up for an MIT takeover. Like, this stuff's amazing. That's a good idea. Yeah. Okay, great.
Cool. Anything else, Elizabeth, for like relations and advocacy? Any updates on like ASTA or anything like that?
I would love to give you some updates, and hopefully this summer I can take a breath. And now that my international trips are done, I know you just went
to some cool places. I saw.
Yeah,
that was great. Awesome.
Those are my first since COVID. So
wow,
crazy and exciting and fun all at the same time. But yeah, now that I can like take a breath, there'll be some more updates.
Cool. Yeah, we'll keep touching base on that. Okay, cool. Josh, finish us off.
So yeah, I think we fixed some problems with our flow that we had. Unfortunately, our flow. Unfortunately, our website, when we changed over email addresses, it created an error in an automatic distribution of emails when people sign up for Eventbrite. And we asked them to complete the rest of the form, which triggered the flow being turned off. So now we're like systematically going back through 438 entries to make sure that they're attributed in our database so we know what events people are attending, adding people to the membership because the membership profiles weren't created during that time frame as well. I say we're probably about maybe halfway done with that project.
Okay.
Google Analytics changes over their July 1st. That's all set. We pretty much it. I know that there's a lot that has been sent through for jobs and some website updates, which I will be able to focus on later this week. And I'll obviously indicate that in Asana stating when things are up on there.
Okay. Great. I think that's it. Anything else? Anyone? No? All right. Well, it's exciting. Good things happening. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.